Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, guys. Glad to be with you again. How are you? Glad to see you again. And our session today is gonna be one of the most interesting sessions. And I assure you that you'll just be so excited when you listen to this session because it is something which is germane to our kids. Yeah, when something is related to our kids, it's always interesting because they are the most important assets we have in our life. Let me say, today I'm discussing the influence of social media. The influence of social media on its impact on our kids, on our children. Of course, when you are listening to this video, when you are listening to this session, you'll see what he's saying. And some of you may aggressively say that he is discussing something which is known by default. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing new there. Yeah. Nothing new there. What are you saying about the influence of the social media? We all know that the social media influenced our kids, our childs massively. So what's up? What do you have to tell us today? And that is a good question. That's a good question. I assure you, and I agree with you 100%. Brutally, I agree with you. Yes. But I'm not just trying to speak about the influence of the social media and its impact on our kids. I'm just today speaking about the protection and the law mechanism and how the law is gonna protect your child, your kids, how the law is supposed to protect them. And I will take just an example, and a very good example, which happens in Norway. Norway passed a law, and this is very important law, and it is about influencers. In Norway, specifically, this law will soon require from the influencers to disclose when they are posting their images. Disclose what? They will be demanded to disclose if their images, if their photos retouch it or not touch it. If your photo is retouched, edited, or modified, you have to say that. You have to say that. We know that the influencers, the YouTubers, for example, and those who gain money from the social media, they are, for example, making their photos and their images always just seem perfect, 100%. For example, when you are exaggerating your muscles, you know, How to exaggerate? You have your muscles exaggerating. You seem like Superman. You seem you are just the most strongest man in the world because you have very strong muscles, but you are exaggerating. You are making Photoshop. You are retouching. You are editing. You are modifying your photo. So you are exaggerating. Okay, once again, let me say, when a girl, for example, like making her waist cinched, when she is cinching her waist, to cinch, how to cinch the waistline, to cinch it. And when she is trying to make her eyebrows perfect, when she's trying to make her face the most perfect, and her skin the most perfect, she's retouching her photo to be a model of beauty, to be a model of beauty, the most beautiful girl. When my teenager daughter see this photo, she start to imagine that this is the ideal way to be beautiful. This is the image of beauty. This is the image of beauty. When you are thin, when you are so thin, that means you are the most beautiful. Some influencers are sending messages like that. So my teenage daughter or your teenage daughter, they may start to think like this. So they are, yes, if I can say, they are influenced massively because they are in a very dangerous stage of their life. This is a very sensitive and a very decisive stage of the teen's life. So we have to be careful about it. We have to be careful, aware of their needs, how they think, how they see the social media, how they see the influencers. Anyway, I would like to say that the influencers, in a way, they are doing much behind the scene. So we have to be aware of this. Anyway, about the law in Norway, and I would like to say that not Norway, also we will see that UK and USA and other countries, also France, for example, all of them, they are following the same pattern and are trying to make laws which may be imposed or require from the influencers to do some serious steps in order to make them more, careful about their photos and about the images. Let's right now start about this law. And it's a new law, of course, as I said to you, it's a new law. In Norway makes it illegal. The law in Norway makes it illegal for advertisers, and I say advertisers, and social media influencers, not only influencers. I say advertisers, and social media influencers to share promotional photos online without disclosing whether the images were retouched. The Head reported Thursday, this is reported by the Head. So the new law passed in Norway parliamentary body with a vote of 72 against 15. I would like to say 72 voted in favor in favor for this law, 72, and 15 against it, against this law. So it's very significant to say that this law is very important and it is just being issued and being brought into life with 72 vote against 15. So the gap is huge, I think. This happens in June, last June. It's to go into effect, of course, after the King of Norway doing the right thing about this, and it will be, yes, released, and then it will be in effect. According to the legislative decree, the law is amendment. The law is amendment to the 2000 Marketing and Control Act. The law concerns advertisers and people who receive payment or other benefit in exchange of their posts. According to W Magazine, it will impact brands, companies, influencers, sponsored and gifted posts, and consent posts on all social media sites. The amendment requires disclosure for edits are made after the image was taken and before, such as Snapchat, Instagram filters that modifies one appearance. According to the Vice, examples of edits that people who are being paid for pictures are required to label include enlarged lips, narrowed waists, unexaggerated muscles, among other things. You see, this is what I am speaking. I'm talking about this just previously. I think that I touched the enlarged lips, the narrowed waists, when I see cinched waists and exaggerated muscles, and among other things, of course, when you are trying to make yourself perfect, when you are retouching and you are editing or you are modifying your pics in order to be one who is just influencing others. This is very important and we have to take it in mind, of course. In the initial proposal sent to the Norwegian Parliamentary Party, the Ministry of Children and Family Affairs cited several studies to support their case, of course. They'd like to support their case. In law, when we are trying to support cases, we cite other cases. This is in law. Maybe the laymen will not grab the meaning here and they will be a little bit difficult for them, but for the lawyers and for those who studied law, they will be on the same page as I am being here, and they will understand what I'm saying by citing, yes, many evidences or many cases to support their case, pointing out that most of the third most common cause of death among young girls is starving themselves. They are starving themselves. They are starving themselves. Why you starve yourself? Why you make yourself hungry in order to be thin? Yes, they are starving themselves intentionally. Why? She would like to be thin. When she is thin, that means she's going to be just beautiful. They think so. And this is called in committing suicide. They are committing suicide. You can say they are committing suicide because they are losing their appetite to eat. They are losing their appetite to eat. So the Ministry of Health announced that losing their appetite and starving themselves is one of the most important causes of death in the country for teens and especially teens, female teens. Body pressure in Norway is a major topic of conversation in the country. The minister said it's in its report, of course. Young people are exposed to a massive pressure to look good out. Yes, through, among other things, advertising on social media, and the models displayed are often digitally retouched. Yes, all we see on the social media is retouching. This we don't know in our countries, but they know there it is retouching. Yeah, they are playing with their photos. They would like to seem just like heroes. They would like to see like the most beautiful girl in the world. They have no scars. They have no dimples. They are perfect. No one is perfect. But my teen will believe that this model is perfect. This is a problem. You and me, we are just adult. We are adult. So we can figure out this is not the real, it's unrealistic. But your kids cannot figure out when they are able to figure out, the time is too late. It's too late. So we are thinking of this right now. Anyway, advertising on social media and the models displayed are often digitally retouched, as I said before this. The minister said in the proposal, an English translation of which was reviewed by the Insider. This exposes young people to an ideal of beauty that is impossible to achieve. Yeah, it's impossible to achieve, of course, by prohibiting advertisers and influencers from posting photos without proper documentation. Without proper documentation. Don't post your photo. Don't post your photo without proper documentation. You have to document it. You have to say you modified, you retouch it, you edited your photo. That when my teen daughter, when my teen son is just Googling and seeing the most, he's a fan of you, are one of the greatest influencers, for example, and he's seeing you, he will read this documentation and will say that, oh, right, wow, it's not the real, they are editing, it's retouched, it's modified, and then he will get it straight. He will get it straight. That's very important. So we have to say props and hats off for the Norwegian, yes, legislator, for this law, because it's very important, really. Photos without proper documentation, as I said, with a government authorized label, of course. The ministry said it hopes to lessen the negative, you see, to lessen the negative impacts of body pressure on young people. We want to lessen the negative impacts of body pressure on young people, pressure on young people. Please don't judge me for saying pressure, because I just use the British accent sometimes. So pressure is not like pressure in the American, so it sounds more British, not American. It's especially important to counteract the desire to do more and long-lasting change in one's own look. Yes, you want to make lasting change on your look. The minister said, of course, some of Norway's top influencers, for example, such as Åse Martin and presenter Janke, they are just starting to say that have already taken positively, they are contributing positively to the news, according to the interviewers or interviews. They gave the Norwegian newspapers hints of that, I would like to say, or like they are just on the same page. They are saying it's important to say you are retouched your photo, you edited it, you modified it. It's important for us to know that. Young people today are growing up to a completely improbable beauty ideal. Yes, that's what's happening literally. They are growing up to improbable beauty ideal. This is said by one of the influencers who was awarded Influencer of the Year at 2019. He was awarded, yes, he was given the award, but he's saying the truth. And I say, hats off to him, props to you, because you are just saying the truth. Yeah, he's saying the truth. Truly, he is saying the truth. So he say, can only help them to understand that's not how you look. It has been edited. When we say to our kids, that's not how things look. It has been edited. This is not my image. This is not my image. You see me perfect, but it's not me. I edited my image. I retouched it. I modified it. So don't imagine, don't think that it's my real image. It's unrealistic. I retouched it. So don't think of it, please. This is what I'm saying to the teenager when I'm disclosing it, when I'm making documentation, when I'm confessing that this is not my real image. That's what they are saying in this law. Please just note that. Other countries have previously, not Norway only, as I said in the first, just at the beginning I said that, not Norway only, just said, or other countries just on the same, in the race. Other countries have previously imposed similar measures. Yeah, in September, for example, a legislator from the United Kingdom, yes, proposed a bill called the Digitally Altered Body Images Bill. This has happened in United Kingdom, which would require disclosure on social media posts denoting the use of filter or alteration. Filter or alteration. When we use filter, we are filtering, we are filtering. That's how, just you look, right now you look to me. I'm not using filter now. Because when I use a filter, I can make my beard so neat, and I can make my hair looking very good, and I'm retouching my image. I'm modifying my shape, and I'm trying to be handsome, trying to be handsome. When it's not the truth, when it's not just like what you see, something different. So when you are doing this, you have to say, I'm doing it. I altered it. This is what we call in law disclosure. Yes. Which would require disclosures on social media posts denoting the use of filter or alteration. In February, the United Kingdom Advertising Standards Authority banned social media influencers from using unrealistic beauty filters. They are forbidden in United Kingdom to use these filters. Those who are influencing my kids and your kids are banned. They are banned, they are prohibited, they are forbidden, they are just cannot use the filters when they are showing up on the social media, and this is very important. Yes, filters in advertisement according to Glamour. Yes, let's see what's coming It's very important. France coming announced a new law in 2017, made it so any commercial image that has been digitally altered to make a model look thinner will have secret packet style warning in it, according to the PPC. The United States Congress introduced the Truth in Advertising Act in 2014, which was partially intended to protect consumers from negative body ideal messages, according to the University of Cincinnati law review, though the law did not pass. Anyway, I would like to say that right now we have many countries such as France, United States, United Kingdom, Norway. They are thinking massively and they are thinking seriously about introducing laws which forbid influencers from using their footage and images without documentation, without disclosure, to say that we are not real, we are unrealistic. So our kids could distinguish between what's real and what's unreal, what is the realistic and what is the unrealistic. This is very important. Or we are gonna see that my kids and your kids are imagining something which is not real. This is very crucial. So we have to be aware and careful of this. Guys, I think that it's interesting today to discuss this important piece of law ideas, and we would like to piece it together. We would like to just to make it together. We would like to make one session again in order to make the headlines of how we use the social media and how we are impacted by the social media. In my coming video, I would like to say that Google and Facebook are invading my privacy or your privacy, and we are unaware of that. So please let me say that the next video is going to focus on Google and Facebook and how they are invading our privacy and how we can protect ourselves from this invading. Thanks for listening today, for your patience. Wish you the best always. I try to do my very best to make it clear for the laymen, and I hope that they understand the message from this video. Till then, see ya. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Goodbye.